So utilizing the game plan that I gave you guys Thursday night to prepare you to finish the month very, very strong in the green, I ended up going 3 for 3. I made it very, very clear on Thursday night's game plan to buy call options on the SPY once it fills the gap at 558 if you're seeing green bullish 30-minute confirmations. Once the SPY filled the gap, there was multiple 30-minute bullish confirmations. There was multiple trend reversal 30-minute confirmations on the 30-minute chart. I did end up buying those calls at the exact lows. I did end up making a 100% profit return at the speed of light, and the winning does not stop there. That was the first win on the day, buying calls for the gap reversal. In terms of the second and third win, going 3 for 3 on the day, making multiple 100% profit returns, buying cheap far out of the money option contracts and selling them in the money at the speed of light. I did end up taking advantage of that second key level that I gave you guys. I made it very, very clear. If you're seeing a bullish 30-minute confirmation above 560, then it is going to break out and have a very strong close to 562.80. So I did end up making 2 more trades on calls, going 3 for 3 with a 100% success rate on Friday. Now, in terms of the new money making information, I'm going to be providing it to you within this video. Let's get straight into the analysis. So we are setting up for an amazing week. The number one setup is going to be Tesla. You need to keep Tesla on your radar heading into this week, man. We can potentially have a very strong breakout if we get the right confirmations at these levels heading into Monday. So in terms of what I'm seeing on Tesla chart, there is a green bullish daily candlestick right here on June 12th, 24th, right? And then Tesla has a breakout above the resistance level. You could see that it's forming a higher floor above that previous resistance level. And then you could see it's forming higher support as well. It's starting to form higher support towards this previous resistance level right here, right? So in terms of this trend, in terms of this pattern, I want you to compare everything it is that I'm seeing. You are going to begin to see the similarities and the potential for a very strong breakout heading into Monday with the right 30-minute confirmations, right? So you got resistance right here. It breaks above resistance, drops back down to retest the previous resistance, forms another green bullish 30-minute confirmation. It's continuing to form higher support. Now, take a look at this daily chart pattern. You have this red daily candlestick facing to the downside. Then you have this green daily candlestick facing to the upside. And then on the next day, you have a small pullback under the previous closing price. Keep in mind, this pattern that I'm showing you is occurring on a lot of tickers. It's happening with QQQ. It's happening with a lot of other tickers, man. So just keep an eye. This pattern that I'm showing you is not just happening on Tesla. It can happen with a bunch of other tickers. So there is a red daily candlestick facing to the downside. You have this red pin right here. Then you have this green pin right here, right? What happens the next day? The next day, you have a small drop under the previous closing price. And then it starts to bottom slightly under the previous closing price. Then it has a strong bullish breakout. And it also continues to run all throughout the week. So what I need you to pay attention to heading into this week, heading into Monday, you need to study the previous closing price, right? We can get a small drop under the previous closing price. That's fine. If you are seeing the previous closing price breaking out, reacting as strong bullish 30-minute confirmation support, you're going to want to buy Tesla calls. If you are seeing a break above 215.40, you're going to want to be buying Tesla calls. Look for the 30-minute confirmations at those levels that I gave you. The support level is going to be slightly under the previous closing price, 214.11. You're seeing bullish 30-minute confirmations, go for the support level. The breakout, the resistance level, is going to be 215.40. You see a break above 215.40, it's forming a higher floor with bullish 30-minute confirmations above that level. You're going to want to be buying call options. That's the breakout resistance level. As you can see, the same pattern is beginning to occur at a higher price. This used to be previous resistance right here towards this 187 level. Look at this. You have this green daily candlestick, right? And then you have this green daily candlestick. You see how those candlesticks are nearly identical? Then look, you have these red candlesticks and it's forming higher support. It's forming higher support. Then you have this green daily candlestick in the middle. It's starting to break out. Then you have this green daily candlestick in the middle. You see how this green daily candlestick in the middle right here is forming a higher floor above that previous resistance, above that previous first green candle. Same pattern is occurring right here. You see the similarities, right? It's nearly identical. Then, as you can see, you have a red daily candlestick facing to the downside. You have a red daily candlestick facing to the downside. Then you have a green daily candlestick facing to the upside, right? So there is a trend, there is a pattern that is beginning to repeat itself. And history shows that Tesla is going to have a massive bullish run heading into this week. If we can hold above previous closing price in terms of support, it needs to hold above that previous closing price. It needs to maintain a solid floor. It needs to form bullish 30-minute confirmations above that previous closing price. And then it just simply needs to break above 215.40, right? I am showing you a trend, a pattern that has been in development for quite some time. And history is consistently repeating itself. So all we have to do is capture this in real time. That's all we got to do. We got to capture this in real time. We got to use the levels. And if at any point heading into Monday, if we are seeing those bullish 30-minute confirmations at the support level, slightly below previous closing price, or at the breakout level, you can make 2 trades out of that. You can go with one with the support level. You can go one with the breakout level, right? If we're seeing these bullish 30-minute confirmations, we're going to be buying Tesla call options up heavily because the pattern shows we can have a strong breakout and it could be a strong potential bullish week. We also have multiple gaps that are waiting to fill above. There's a gap to fill above at 220. There's another gap to fill above at 246. So this can be a clear technical catalyst for a very strong breakout to start to fill those gaps above. If we can get a very strong bullish day heading into Monday, if we are holding above the previous closing price. So it's going to be very simple. If I'm seeing the previous closing price reacting as support, I'm buying call options. If I'm seeing a break above 215.40, I'm buying call options. I'm using the 30-minute confirmations, the same confirmations that I used to buy SPY calls at the exact lows on Friday. I ended up buying at 12:36 p.m. I ended up buying 559 SPY calls at 55 cents. I sold them for 100% profit return at the speed of fucking light. And then I just kept on winning. I kept on buying calls throughout the whole entire day, nonstop. 560 calls at 56 cents, ended up selling in real time at 70 cents. And then the power hour play was fucking insane. I bought the exact lows during the last 30-minute candlestick, 562 SPY calls for 37 cents. The exact lows at 3:34 p.m. at 37 cents. I ended up selling 80% of my position at 58 cents, nearly 100%. And then I left runners 20% to ride until towards the closing price, sold at 126. They went to 200. We were buying at the lows in the 30 cents. They went to 200, utilizing that game plan, man. So I'm going to be using the same 30-minute confirmations I use on Tesla, man. I got the fucking levels. I got the strategy. I got the confirmations. We just need to be aware and have our third eye open and capture these fucking trends with the levels and wait for the 30-minute candlesticks to fucking close, man. I didn't buy SPY calls on fucking Friday until 12:36 p.m. at the exact lows. You got to be patient. Wait for the levels to hit. Wait for the confirmations at the fucking levels. I teach you the strategy to make money at these specific levels. You got to be patient and wait for those 30-minute candlesticks to close at or towards the levels. That is going to be the first game plan for Tesla. It could potentially be a swing trade as well. So that's just some of the basics, man. Now, in terms of the breakout, if we do break above 215.40, in terms of measuring the overall move, we're going to go straight to fill the gap. There's a gap to fill at 220. Set profit stops, sell into the moves at key levels. The profit target will be 220. Once 215.40, once 215.40 reacts as support, right? That's just day trade analysis. And then in terms of swing trading, there could be a potential swing trade in development. You have to take it one day at a time. So that's going to be the number one stock to watch heading into tomorrow. Now, in terms of the other stocks that I'm keeping an eye on, INTC and ANF. These are both gap breakouts. So as you can see right here, a gap breakout is when you find a stock that has a massive gap down. Once you take the closing price, you take the high of day, so you wait for the day to close. Right here, you can see that INTC had a massive gap down. And if you take the high of day from where it gapped down right here, $21.98. Once it breaks above that, there is no resistance. It's going to start to fill the gap that is waiting to fill above, right? So it's a special breakout level, kind of like similar to an all-time high level, except this one, there's a gap that's waiting to fill above, right? So it's going to start to attract and start to fill that gap that's waiting to fill above. So just keep an eye on INTC. This is just a bonus play. Just keep an eye on it. If you're seeing a floor above 22, you could try scalping call options on it. It could have a nice little breakout, right? So if you're seeing bullish 30-minute confirmations above $22, it's going to start to break out and it's going to start to have a nice move to the upside for a nice scalp. Keep an eye on it. The same exact setup goes for ANF. ANF had a gap down right here at $140 and 148.50, you take the high of day. Once we break above 148.50, it's going to start to fill the gap above. It's going to start to pump. The next resistance level would be in this 150-ish range, right? That 150 overall, 153 zone, right? So just keep an eye, see if it's forming bullish 30-minute confirmations at 148, right? Both of the charts on ANF and INTC are currently bullish on the daily chart. They're both sitting at that resistance where if it breaks above the resistance and forms a floor, bullish 30-minute confirmations, bullish trend reversal 30-minute confirmations above those resistance levels, right? So for INTC, 22, for ANF, 148, right? It's going to start to explode up and it's going to start to fill a gap, man. And this is a very strong stock. Abercrombie and Finch, man, this is a very strong stock. A lot of momentum, been pushing for new all-time highs. And look, man, this is a big fucking deal. Look at this. You could see at this specific level right here at 146. Once this started to break out, right? We had earnings, but it had a massive move to nearly $200 a share. So the point is, psychologically, this is going to be a massive fucking move. And they just had earnings and it just got down and it's already beginning to fucking recover, man. So who's pointing you in this fucking direction? Because this looks like a fucking home run, man. I'm telling you, if we break above 148 and react to support, it's gonna start to fucking explode up and fill the gap. It just had a massive gap down. It's already maintaining support. It's already trying to partially reverse out this gap. That's another level. Keep an eye on 131.50. My levels, 131.50 in terms of dip buying. I would love to dip buy down there. In terms of the breakout level, 148, that's when we start to fill the gap above. 131, that's where we start to reverse. This is going to be a phenomenal setup, man, and it's set up for swing trades as well. Swing trading, we use the daily chart. We wait right before the market closes for the swing trading strategies, right? I'm telling you, there could be swing trades setting up on Tesla for calls. There could be a swing trade setting up on ANF. I like ANF a lot more than the INTC play. So ANF is coming in number 2 spot. Tesla's going to be number 1. Our next stock is going to be DJT. So in terms of this particular stock, it's known for having strong spikes at key dips, at key support levels, at key gap reversals. So we have one of the lower gaps that is waiting to fill below, right? This is actually one of the lowest gaps that's waiting to fill below right here at 1732. Once we drop back down to 1732, I'm going to use the daily chart. I'm going to be interested in swing trading calls. This is going to be a swing trade play, but if you are seeing bullish 30-minute confirmations at that 1730 level, you can make a quick day trade on it as well. So it could be a day trade and a swing trade. For this one, we got to wait for the gap to fill. Once the gap fills, we wait for confirmations, right? When you're day trading, 30-minute chart. When you're swing trading, use the daily chart, use the higher time frames. You could use the weekly chart. You could use the monthly chart. I prefer the daily chart in terms of swing trading, right? I don't make a lot of swing trades, but when I see the right opportunity at the right price, I'm willing to make swing trades. And I'm telling you, there's going to be swing trades coming up, man. We're at some phenomenal levels. DJT, Tesla, ANF, those are on my swing trade radar. You can also day trade at those specific levels. Use the 30-minute chart when you're day trading, right? So DJT, we're going to be looking for a gap reversal at that 1732 level, man. So I'm telling you, those 3 stocks, fucking phenomenal setups, man. ANF, DJT, and Tesla, all phenomenal setups, man. In terms of the next tickers, let's get into it, man. So QQQ, in terms of QQQ, it has that same sort of daily pattern that I showed you compared to Tesla, right? It has that red pin to the downside and then the green pin to the upside, right? So in terms of QQQ, what you're going to be looking for is heading into tomorrow, you're going to be looking to buy the dip. Same thing with SPY. You're going to be looking to buy the dip. So on SPY, on Tesla, on QQQ, we're looking for dip buying opportunities, but it's got to have a bullish 30-minute confirmation and it's got to be towards the previous closing price. So if it's just selling off under that previous closing price, you just wait for it to go back up. Wait for it to go back up. Wait for the bullish confirmations at the previous closing prices. Wait for the bullish confirmations at the breakout level, right? There's going to be 2 levels to get in. The first one is going to be slightly under the previous closing price to buy the dip. The second one is going to be the resistance level, which is basically slightly above the highs on Friday for Tesla, SPY, and QQQ. So in terms of QQQ, you can keep an eye on 474. Keep an eye on 474. The 474 zone, 474.50. Once you're seeing the previous closing price react bullish, you can buy calls for the overall breakout, right? Now, in terms of SPY, let's get a little bit more advanced on SPY. So in terms of SPY, you can keep an eye on 562. If we're reacting bullish at 562, you could try buying the dip there. The next level under that is 560. So in terms of SPY, the main analysis is going to be If you're seeing strong bullish 30-minute confirmations at 562, you could try to buy calls. If you're seeing a break above previous closing price, it's reacting bullish, you could try to buy calls. If you're seeing a break above 564.20, you could try to buy calls, but I need you to focus on the dips, man. Focus on the dips, man. One thing you need to understand about SPY is, man, we are at the all-time high gap. There is a gap that is waiting to fill above at 550, at 500 and to be exact, 564.90. There's a gap that's waiting to fill above at 564.86. That's where we can potentially have a short-term pullback, a short-term reversal. If you are seeing bearish or trend reversal 30-minute confirmations, once we hit the 564.80 to 565 zone, you're going to want to try to scalp put options. Just be aware of that overall trend that can potentially repeat itself, right? And this goes, like I said, for Tesla, it goes for SPY, it goes for QQQ. Not all the setups are created equally. Like I said, my current favorite setup is on that Tesla daily chart, man, because Tesla has more patterns involved. There's multiple gaps that are waiting to fill above. It's a lot more oversold, right? QQQ and SPY are towards the all-time highs. Tesla is on a different fucking vehicle. That's why I'm really liking Tesla for this potential swing trade. And I'm telling you, this fucking ANF play, you guys all need to keep some focus on this stock. This is a very strong bullish momentum stock that just keeps on pushing for new time all fucking highs, man. I'm telling you, it's going to fill these gaps over time. There's a gap that's waiting to fill above at 166. It's going to fill eventually, right? So we're going to see if there's a breakout confirmation. If not, then we're going to wait to buy the dip at 131. There's going to be phenomenal day trading opportunities, phenomenal swing trading opportunities. So that is going to be the main analysis that I'm going to be providing in terms of that pattern recognition, right? Now, if those patterns do not repeat themselves, basically the previous closing price needs to be reacting as a resistance. So if we're not going to have this strong bullish move to buy the dips and all that, then the previous closing prices need to react as strong resistance levels. If that is occurring, then we're going to be avoiding calls. Like I said, for calls, we're going to wait for a dip buying opportunity towards the previous closing price if there's a bullish confirmation. No bullish confirmation, then it's just going to chop and it's going to start to pull back and history's not going to repeat itself. But again, just because history's not repeating itself doesn't mean that it can't repeat later. It can take some time. It could be a delayed reaction, or you just simply wait for it to go back to the levels. And when the confirmation is at the levels, like I said, slightly below the previous closing price, or you can go with the breakout levels, that is when we're going to be buying calls. Below that, it's going to try to chop and react bearish, right? So below that, in terms of your levels, 560, and then you have 557, then you have 555. Like I said, man, I'm just going to be laser focused on this call game plan in terms of the video that I'm providing to you a night before the market. The main focus is the game plan on call options, man. So in terms of this game plan that I'm providing to you, I would simply wait for, a small drop under previous closing price. Tesla, SPY, QQQ. If you're seeing the bullish 30-minute confirmations, buy the calls. If you're seeing the bullish 30-minute confirmations above the previous closing price, buy the calls. If you're seeing the bullish 30-minute confirmations for the breakout level at the resistance level, that's the highest level towards resistance on Friday's highs, buy the calls, right? Now, in terms of other game plans, besides that, I'm not going to be providing that in tonight's video. So you can use a ladder. You could say, well, okay, it's not reacting bullish, then it's going to start to drop. But in terms of this video, what I'm telling you is just wait for it to react bullish. Be patient. Wait for it to react bullish. Give it some time, right? If you're seeing 60 minutes, 90 minutes, 120 minutes of 30-minute consolidation, slightly above that previous closing price, if you're getting the bullish 30-minute confirmations, buy the fucking calls. It's going to be a strong bullish day, right? But if you're not seeing that, it's going to start to react bearish. But like I said, I'm not going to be providing a plan for the overall bearish thesis based off this video. So I'm giving you a bullish thesis. If you see the bullish confirmations at the PCP, at Friday's highs, you're going to want to be buying call options on those three fucking tickers. In terms of the puts, it's more of just downward levels. It's not much of a strategy. It simply just means that history is not repeating itself and you're seeing some bearish levels. Like I said, man, there's going to be new game plans. There's going to be new levels heading in tomorrow. I'm just pointing you in the right direction in terms of a trend, in terms of a pattern that I'm seeing. And if it continues to repeat itself, you get the confirmation to take the trade. If not, then sit on the sidelines. You can try, with that, whatever it is that in terms of the market, you can try that at other levels, right? So I'm just providing with you in terms of this main video, one game plan. I gave you the levels, wait for the confirmations. If we hit the levels, there's no confirmations, don't enter the trade. If we don't hit the levels, don't enter the trade. If we hit the levels and there's a confirmation, enter the fucking trade, right? So just sit on the sidelines, sit on your fucking hands, right? If it's not this game plan, just fucking wait. But like I said, man, in terms of my secure private organization, we're going to be trading Like, when we see a play, we're going to take the fucking play. We're going to take the trade. We're going to be trading non-fucking stop, man. Like I said, this is just a nightly analysis before the market opens, man. It changes. Things change. We adapt accordingly, and new levels evolve. Heading into the pre-market, new levels are going to evolve. Heading into the market open, when we get the big moves, when we get the new bull and bear traps, new levels are going to evolve. This is just the nightly game plan. You set levels during the nightly analysis, during the morning analysis, and when the market's open, man. There's 3 sessions to set these levels. This is just the nightly analysis. Like I said, man, I'm going to be making trades tomorrow that have nothing to do with this fucking plan. If there's no confirmation, history's not going to repeat itself. It's very unlikely that I just sit on my hands, because I have many strategies and I have intuition and I'll make a trade. But in terms of like beginners and stuff like that, I'm trying to point you in the best direction possible. And if we get the confirmation that history's going to repeat itself, take the fucking trade. Like I said on Friday, man, if you see a bullish 30-minute confirmation at the gap, man, let's just look at it, man. So in terms of the bullish 30-minute confirmations, SPY had the massive gap up. Even in the video, what did I tell you in the video? I told you, 562, it's likely going to drop first, man. I made that very clear. Remember I told you that? It's likely going to pull back first at 562. Look at this. It gaps up. It's floating up on thin fucking air. I told you, once we get to 562, 562.80, it's likely going to pull back first. Red bearish trend reversal 30-minute confirmation. Previous support, previous support, previous support. All these lows reacting as a resistance. Massive drop to fill the gap. Massive drop to fill the gap. History fucking repeats itself. Look at the confirmations. 30-minute bullish pin trend reversal. Right? Then you have this red candlestick facing to the downside. You have this red candlestick facing to the downside. Bullish move to 562. Bullish move to 562. Green bullish 30-minute confirmation. Higher trend reversal support. Higher trend reversal support. Green bullish 30-minute confirmation. If you are not in calls on any of these fucking 30-minute candles, this is when you should have been on calls. On any of these fucking 30-minute candles. I tell you all the time, when you get the trend reversal 30-minute confirmations at the fucking gap, for a gap reversal, it's going to spike and reverse back to test the wicks. There's wicks right here to test. There's wicks right here to test. And you should have been in on fucking calls right here on the opening of this fucking 30-minute candlestick. You have a break above 560. Remember I told you the breakout level was 560? It broke above 560. You have a green bullish 30-minute confirmation above fucking 560. If you use these levels along with the 30-minute fucking chart, you should be banking every single fucking day, man. You should be going green every single day saying, man, red's a fucking choice. Losing's a fucking choice. I use the levels. I use the 30-minute trading strategies. Trading so fucking simple with this, man. So like I said, I went 3 for 3 on fucking Friday, man. I gave you the plan. I gave you the levels, and I show up and I executed that. I don't expect people to trade as well as I, man. I have over 10 plus years of fucking experience doing this. I don't expect people to just be making 100% profit returns all day at the speed of fucking light. But at the end of the fucking day, I give people the choice to become self-sufficient, to make money before they join anything it is that I have available for them to join to make them more money, man. I gave you the game plan. I gave you the levels. I teach you the strategies. It's just like, dude, if you were red on fucking Friday, I don't know what to fucking tell you, man. There's just no fucking hope. You're either not disciplined, you're not waiting for the levels to hit, you're not waiting for the right 30-minute confirmations. If we're sitting at the fucking gap for 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180 fucking minutes, what the fuck do you think it's gonna do? It's gonna start to break out. It's gonna start to fucking run, man. That's why we were screaming calls all day in the fucking chat, man. But you gotta have patience. Like I said, I came in here, my first fucking trade on the day was at 12:36 p.m. Do you know how long it took? You know how many 30-minute candlesticks I was watching and waiting? I knew the best level was at the gap. I knew it was to buy the dip. And I also knew once 560 reacts to support, it's going to be fucking bullish, man. But I'm not going to be buying calls out the fucking gate into the 562 zone. I told you, it's likely going to pull back first at 562. The game plan wasn't to buy calls at 562. The game plan was to buy calls at 558 and 560. And I saw a trade during power hour was going to have a strong bullish close. So I did end up buying those call options at that 562 range because I saw a bullish 30-minute pattern that was going to close very, very strong. So like I said, man, on Friday, I'm 3 for 3 on the day, utilizing the game plan. I gave it a game plan. If we see the confirmations, you're going to see it happen again, dude. Green non-fucking stop. Losing's a choice. Red's a choice. Use the levels. Use the strategies. Use the 30-minute chart. Dissect the fucking chart with everything you know, with the levels. Losing should be a personal choice, man. You got to be patient. You got to wait for the levels to hit. You got to wait for the 30-minute confirmations. You got to dissect the fucking chart, man. If we're at the gap for fucking, 2+ hours and we're getting all these trend reversal 30-minute confirmations, Why the fuck aren't you in calls? It's going to 560. We break above 560. It's going to 563. We got a floor above 560. Why the fuck aren't you in calls right here on the opening of this candlestick at 3 p.m.? You should have been smashing fucking calls. You should have been smashing fucking calls right here at the 1 p.m. mark, at the bare fucking minimum, man. It's like I give you the strategies, I give you the levels, I give you 30-minute confirmations. Look, man, red's a fucking choice, losing's a fucking choice. Use this game plan tomorrow. If you see the confirmation, you shouldn't have a problem making money. Now, for those of you who are serious in terms of being a part of our secure private organization, it's going to be the first link down below within the description. You will get access to all of our real-time trades. We have a 90% plus success rate buying cheap, low risk, far out of the money option contracts. We're known for selling them in the money 90% of the fucking times, man. We have the highest win rate in the fucking game doing this. We're making multiple trades a day. With that being said, if you want to trade alongside with us within the chat, it's going to be the first link down below. Within the description, we have a real-time zero-date options trading alert system. In terms of some background to the system, we do not use stop losses. In terms of risk management, we put in our max risk per trade in terms of the entire value of contracts, right? So if you have $1,000 in your account and you are risking, let's say 5% on a trade, you're risking $50, you're buying one contract, then you buy one contract. If it goes to zero, that's your max risk. That's what you lose on the overall trade, right? And what we're doing is we're letting the contracts go to zero. If they don't work out, we do not use stop losses. In terms of a dead play that drops 50, 60, 70% of the time, we just let it run. It can go in the money later on throughout the day. We don't use a fucking stop loss. Our max risk per trade is what we're putting into the particular trade. You understand? So we don't use a stop loss. There's no fucking point. The contracts are so fucking cheap. We can do that. We don't need a stop loss. The contracts are so cheap and low fucking risk. We put in our max risk per trade into the contracts. We let them expire worthless when it doesn't work out. And like I said, 90% of the fucking time, we're selling in the money and we're buying 2 to fucking 5 legs out. We're going super far out of the money. We're selling in the money for the biggest percentage gains with the lowest fucking risk. And in terms of background to the system, there is no stop losses. We set profit stops. In terms of what we're doing is we are setting a profit stop when we are up a little bit. When we're up like 15, 20%, we set a profit stop. Therefore, going green to red is not going to happen. We're going to go green to green. Green to green. We're going to get stopped out for fucking profits. We're going to secure the overall gains. When we set a profit stop, we quickly add to winners. Once we get a winning confirmation, when we're up a little bit after we set the profit stop, we like to add to winners to increase the winning. When we win, we tend to win big. When we're up a little bit and we get a winning confirmation, the big winning move tends to go in our favor the vast majority of the time. So we increase the winnings, we set the profit stop to protect the overall profits, and we sell in the money. That's what we're known for fucking doing, man, right? So we're setting the profit stop, so we're getting stopped out for profit, right? We're securing the overall profits. We're adding to winners to increase the winnings, and the profit stop is going to continue to protect our new average cost. And as the trade is going in our favor, we're going to continue to move the profit stop up to ensure that if the market has a big move against us, our contracts are going to be protected. We're going to get stopped out for overall profits, and that is not going to affect us, right? So we're doing the complete opposite of what everyone else is doing. If you want to see us trading in real time, our real-time trade analysis, our real-time entries, our real-time market analysis, our real-time exits, it is all within the chat. It's the first link down below within the description. Like I said, using the video that I gave you, I went 3 for 3. I had multiple 100% profit returns. Like I said, I don't know what you did, man. I give you the opportunity to make money. I give you the opportunity to be self-sufficient. I give you the opportunity to use the strategies at the fucking levels to make money before you join the fucking group. There's no fucking excuse. Losing, red, all fucking personal choice. Just with my video alone and the strategies that I teach you, I was patient. I waited for the confirmations. I waited for levels. I went 3 for fucking 3. It's all time-stamped, alerted in real fucking time, man. We are making money non-fucking stop. The first fucking trade, 12:36 p.m. Let's buy 559 calls at 55 cents. As soon as I bought these fucking calls, just 17 minutes later, I sold at 90 cents for nearly 100% profit return. And then I made it very, very clear, man. All the commentary was so on fucking point. Throughout the whole day, man, I prepared everyone for massive success, man. As soon as the 560 green bullish 30-minute confirmation closed above that level, I told people, man, we're going to 563. This is going to be a very strong bullish day. So I kept getting back in calls on the dips, man. I got back in right here. I ended up buying 560 calls at 56 cents, right? And I ended up selling at 70 cents a contract, man. And then the craziest trade, like I said, was during the power hour, man. I ended up getting in 37 cents, right? I got in at 37 cents on 562 calls. They went to 100, man. It's fucking crazy, man. G-Roar, he called out a dead play recently on fucking puts, man. They went up 1,000%, man, on this fucking play, man. He bought puts earlier into the day and it dropped a lot. But if you just held and sold in the money, it went up 1,000% fucking plus, man. I'm telling you, man. Even the dead plays, the vast majority of the time, 70% of the time, they're going in the money. So if you're serious about making money, if you want to trade alongside with us, man, I'm telling you, you want to learn how to trade? Trade alongside us. You're going to see me executing these trades in the chat. You're going to see me using the strategies that I'm showing you in these videos for the levels in real fucking time, man. You want to trade alongside us and make some fucking money? It's the first link down below in the description, man. Because like I said, I can teach people the strategies. I can give them levels to use with the strategies. But when you have 10 plus years of experience, I just don't expect people to trade it better than me. I genuinely don't expect that from them, man. I do expect them to be green and to make money being self-sufficient, but I don't see how they're going to be able to make these massive percentage gains, man. Some people, they can get to level 2. It's possible. But when you have 10 plus years of experience doing this, I'm telling you, you're very disciplined. You're very patient. You're waiting for the right confirmations. You learn to hold for a very fucking long time. But at the very fucking least, I would expect people to be green if they actually choose to execute and implement the information I fucking give them. So I gave you the game plan. Losing the right's a fucking choice. You want to trade with us? It's the first link down below within the description.